Hello, so today we are doing experiment 1, which is to prepare pure copper 2 sulfate crystals. So to start off, we will use a measuring cylinder to transfer 30 cm cube of dilute sulfuric acid into a 100 cm cube beaker. First off, you must wash all your apparatus. So how do you wash apparatus? You will typically wash with tap water, then you wash with distilled water using this. When you transfer, you should remove the stopper along with the dropper. When you are using this measuring cylinder, you should go down to eye level such that you can see the Once you are done, please ensure that you should see that the bottom of the meniscus is at the 30. So you realize that most solutions are not straight as we imagine it to be, it is actually curved. So the bottom portion of the curve is what we call the meniscus. So you should stop at 30 cm cube. Second step, you will warm the acid in a beaker gently. So this is a Bunsen burner. So when you heat something, you should always make sure that the air hole is here. Make sure the air hole is closed. But make sure that it's not closed fully. A slight opening will be good. You attach it to the gas tap. You should also have a lighter prepared. So when you switch on the gas tap, you should make sure that you switch it on to the max. So you press it down all the way to the end. And there you have your flame. After which, this is a wire gauze. Ensure that your wire gauze and your tripod stand is here. Okay, please remember that you're dealing with flame. It's very hot. Never use your bare hands and be very, very careful. Okay, so it says warm the acid in a beaker gently. So now, make sure that you transfer your measuring cylinder acid into your beaker. After which, you shall warm it. Okay, so how do you get your acid in the beaker onto the hot surface? You can use this, which is called a tongs. So you will clamp it. Make sure it's tight before you transfer it over. So this is how you do it. So it says warm it gently, which means if you see that there are fumes, that means that this is not gently. And never breathe in the acid fumes. They can cause asthma. So it says warm gently, avoid boiling, and turn off the Bunsen burner, after which Okay, third step, it says you may add copper 2 oxide powder bit by bit. So please remember not to add everything in one shot. You notice that it's not dissolving, so you will use a clean glass rod. So ensure that you have washed your glass rod. So that you can use the glass rod to help you stir it. As you can see, all the black solid has dissolved. So this means that you can still add more black solid. When do you end? You will end when no more black solid dissolves. As you can see, again, it dissolved fully. That means that you can continue adding. As you can see, you reach a stage whereby the black solid no longer dissolves. This is what we mean by the black solid is in excess. So this is when you stop adding. So the fourth step says that you shall filter the content of the beaker. So you should wash your measuring cylinder with tap water followed by distilled water. Okay, next, how do you use a filter paper? So you will have to fold it into half. Then subsequently fold it into another half. So effectively you will get a quadrant of a circle. This is a filter funnel. Again, please ensure that the filter funnel is clean. Everything has to be clean. If not, you risk unwanted reactions. So, you open one of the flap, the outermost flap, and you will adjust it such that it fits into the. After which, do remember, this is still hot. So don't use your bare hands, use the tongue. Ensure that it's tight. You're comfortable with it, then you will slowly transfer. You do not have to transfer everything at one go. You can allow it to filter through. Subsequently, then you add in the remaining solution mixture. Now you can add in the remaining portions of it. It's an evaporating dish. We'll be using this for the next part of the experiment. So you should again wash with distilled water after washing with tap water. So make full use of your time and wash whatever that has to be washed in between while you are waiting for your experiment. Okay, once the filtration is done, you can see that there is not much liquid left. So this, you can please dispose this filter paper, which is a solid waste, in the waste bin. Okay, moving on. The next step says that you should transfer the filtrate, which is the solution that you get after filtration, into a clean evaporating dish. I've already washed it earlier on, so you can just simply transfer it in. Okay, next, you will heat this solution until it is saturated. So you might be wondering, what does it mean by saturated solution? A saturated solution is also known as a concentrated solution. It is about half the initial volume. So this one you have to use a bit of approximation skills. So you shall light up the Bunsen burner again, turn it to full blast. Okay, now again, if you are, please be careful when you are transferring the evaporating dish to the tripod stand. Okay, you should clamp it onto the side. Make sure it's very secure, you are comfortable with it, then you move it up. Again, nobody is rushing you, take your time. So now you shall wait until you see that the volume of the solution here is approximately half. Some telltale signs are that you can see some crystals forming at the side of the solution. It should look like this when you are heating. Okay, once the solution has dropped to about half its initial volume, you can turn off the flame by using the gas tap to adjust the gas. After which, what do? You will get a plastic vial that looks like this and write your name here, name and class. So today's experiment is essentially just transferring what is in this evaporating dish to the plastic vial. After which, you can just leave the vial in the basket in front of the class. 1 week later, practical lesson, you will come here, you should be able to see your crystals forming. The formation of crystals will take a little bit of time. So next week when we can come back, you will see your crystals, you will actually weigh your crystals out. That's for the later part of this worksheet. So again, nobody is rushing you. Please be very careful when you are transferring the solution in the evaporating dish to the plastic vial. Use the tongue. Make sure that you are very comfortable with it. Once you are very certain that it is very firm, then you proceed to pour it. Never use your bare hands. Then you are done.